2, 3, 4. Stop the Bloody Yemen War. 5, 6.
And I wanted to make sure that when we say the Saudis, we're talking about the monarchy, because there is a people there. That's our people that we are standing for. And those are our people from the south, from the center, from the north, from the east, from different backgrounds. These are our people.
Hello, my name is Stanley Heller. Welcome to The Struggle. The Struggle is shown on over 30 cable stations from Vermont to New York City, on the internet at thestruggle.org, our YouTube channel, Struggle Video Media. On the program today, a rally at Yale Law School against the Saudi-U.S. war on Yemen. A talk by renowned Saudi dissident Ali Al Ahmed. Coverage of an exhibit by architect-artist Mohamad Hafez in Hartford. And an outrageous situation, a government holding the body of a street youth until a charity can come up with the money to pay a so-called tax. Several dozen people came to the Yale Law School to protest the Saudi-U.S. war against Yemen. The law school was chosen because the war is a grave international crime, aggression, and because a Saudi businessman that Newsweek says has ties to the Saudi military gave $10 million to the law school. You'll hear me leading a chant.
1, 2, 3, 4. Stop the Bloody Yemen War. 5, 6, 7, 8. Stop the killing. Stop the hate. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop the Bloody Yemen War. 5, 6, 7, 8. Stop the killing. Stop the hate. Now we're a dozen or two here, but just in Saturday, in front of the UN, there were hundreds of Yemeni Americans very disturbed about this, as they obviously should be. And in Sana'a, the capital of Yemen, there were vast crowds. They were risking everything. I mean, the Saudis could have bombed them all. But I mean, the account said tens of thousands. But that was from the one still picture. I saw video, and I mean, think of from Church Street all the way to here in an area 10 times as wide as this. To me, it looked like 100,000.
Now, Ali Al Ahmed of the Institute for Gulf Affairs, a very brave Saudi living in the United States. He's constantly on CNN and in the New York Times and on Democracy Now! He spoke at the Saudi summit organized by Code Pink in Washington, D.C.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Sabah al-khair. I also wanted to say Sabah al-khair or Masa al-khair to the people who are watching online in Arabic, because a lot of people back home are watching. صباح مساء الخير لأبناء شعبنا الذين يشاهدون هذا البث الحي، وإن شاء الله نكون صوتا لكم جميعا. اعذروني راح أتكلم بالإنجليزي. So I want to start by thanking my good friend Medea, whom I knew for many years, and in our work all these years, especially recently, I think one of the most interesting and successful and maybe very popular video of us when the Saudi king showed up in May 14th, and in a moment's notice I decided that to go and confront his motorcade of 600 Mercedes, and Medea and Ty, they said, yeah, we will come. And in 20 minutes, they were there in front of the Four Seasons. So 3 of us were basically standing tall and proud before hundreds, maybe thousands of Saudi officials, from the king to his son to many ministers. And luckily, although we didn't have the time to video ourselves, luckily those who are on the Saudi side videoed us and spread that video everywhere. It went so viral, it was unbelievable. Today is a serious topic. We are here to thanks to the efforts and dedication of Medea and her crew, and we want to thank her. I want to thank her on behalf of our people, because this is not an easy thing to do. When I first came to Washington, nobody wanted to talk about Saudi Arabia, our allies. Until September 11, everything started to change. I didn't get any meetings before September 11, but after September 11, I got a lot of meetings. I got a lot of press about so many things. Unfortunately, it hasn't changed the policy, and I'll tell you why. You know, there is a problem in the United States as a political structure, that they have supported and protected not only the Saudi monarchy, and I wanted to make sure that when we say the Saudis, we're talking about the monarchy, because there is a people there. That's our people that we are standing for. And those are our people from the south, from the center, from the north, from the east, from different backgrounds. These are our people, and we don't call these people the Saudis. The Saudis is the ruling family that has hijacked our country, hijacked our religion, and created this catastrophe, the terrorism, the extremism that has stolen and usurped our oil revenue, this massive revenue, over $15 trillion over the past 80 years, that has gone where? It has been taken, spent, and bad things, not to support our people, to educate them, to build schools, to build roads, and so on. This monarchy has used the money even to take over decisions by American officials. It's unfortunate, something I call Carterism. I call Carterism, why? Because even Carter, who calls himself a human rights advocate, was used, and it continues to be used, to shield the Saudi government, the Saudi monarchy actually, from the standards. And it's unfortunate that the United States, a country built on what? On a revolution, after a revolution against an absolute monarchy. Go to the National Archives here in Washington and look at the first document. It is the document, a letter by that absolute monarch, British monarch, who called the American revolutionaries the same derogatory terms that the Saudi government calls me, and call my friend Abdulaziz Al-Hussan, and call other activists who are seeking. I'm not speaking on somebody else's behalf, but I am dedicating my life to ending the Saudi monarchy and any absolute monarchy we have in the region. I'm a proud Muslim. In my religion, monarchy is forbidden. Islam forbids monarchy. Anyone who tells you otherwise, they're lying to you. Islam is an equal opportunity religion. You can be the son of a farmer and rule that country if people chose you. In our Islam, people choose who serve them, not rule them. The word amil in Arabic means servant or worker, is used by early Muslims for those who take positions of power. Today, we have a monarchy that is inheriting us from one person to another, from a father to son, from brother to brother. The words of Sheikh Nimr are powerful on this. The words of Dr. Mohamad Al-Qahtani on this, who said, we are the people. Dr. Abdullah Al Ahmed, who these people executed or in prison, these are intellectuals. One of the most beautiful words that everyone should remember, that Dr. Abdullah Al Ahmed said, Ash-sha'b huwa waliyul amr. The people are the rulers. And that is the fact, that is the basis of our movement. This is supposedly was the movement that this country, the United States of America, was built upon a rule by the people, of the people, for the people. Where is that principle that was set forth by the early founding fathers of this country? We need to take America back. Not the Trump way, but the way where the original founders of this country had planned to do. Why? Because the United States supports the largest absolute monarchy in the world. The largest concentration of absolute monarchies in the world are in the Gulf. Nowhere else we have absolute monarchies protected by the United States of America, and who is a republic built on overthrowing or revoluting against an absolute monarchy, by the United Kingdom and other governments, by the French Republic, who yesterday gave the most horrible human rights abuser, the founder of terrorism, Mohammed bin Nayef, an award for fighting terrorism. This is amazing. That's a problem. This is not about our people alone. This is about your people. When the Saudi government and the Saudi monarchy is able to protect a rapist in the United States, a person from another person who enslaved people because they happen to be from the ruling family, so they're okay. We don't prosecute them. We let him get off. You cannot do that. This is Carterism. When you even change your laws and suppress your own laws to please a foreign power, a foreign absolute dictatorship. The Saudi monarchy's penetration of the United States political regime is very clear. And that's done how? Just like Medea said, $35 million to Jimmy Carter, over $50 million to the Clintons. I don't know how much money to the Bush family, through business deals, through grants and gifts and so others, through taking over Yale and Harvard and Georgetown. These are the seats of American education and academia. In my case, I went to school in the University of St. Thomas. The editor of the magazine interviewed me for a cover story. Oh, you are one of our alumni who had made it big in Washington. We need to put you on our cover. The story was done, completed, but alas, the president of St. Thomas University, Father Dennis Dees, a Catholic priest, pulled the story. Oh, because we don't want to upset the Saudis. This is how much influence you have. And that's why I said it's about you. It's not about us. It's about your children. Do you want an absolute monarchy that hijacked Islam and converted it to an evil religion? Islam is not like that. Saudi Islam is not Islam. Okay? It's an Islam of an absolute monarchy. A monarchy that prevents women from exercising, from kicking a ball, from driving, from being a full human being, recognizing their own self-worth. You want that monarchy to take over your education, your life? You'll be in trouble. I mean, this country must take itself back to the people, not to the elites and clique of this country. The United States spends over $250 billion of your money to protect the Gulf monarchies. Why? They say, oh, to protect the oil flow. Well, the oil flow from the United States over 2015 from the Gulf did not even reach 50 billion. So you spent 225 billion to secure 50 billion? Well, is that a winning combination? No. How they do it? In America, politics work on money. You know that. You pay senators, you pay you pay a congressman, a governor to get your stuff done. And that's how it's done. The Saudis knew this, figured this out. They pay certain people to get their foreign policy, to get even their domestic policy. I am an example of that. For 6 years, the United States government banned me from travel, with no explanation, by the way. Banned me from work, without explanation. I said, why? Can you give me am I a terrorist? Come on. If I am, tell me about it. What did I do? Of course, nothing. Until I threatened to bring this out to the public. They gave me my travel document. They gave me my work permit. And this is in the United States of America, in Washington, D.C. This is not somewhere else. I am a living example of that. That's why we have to really, as an American people, I call upon you to rise and call upon you to take your country back. The Saudi war oil war now is hurting you. The oil is not only hurting our people who are now suffering all kind of things. We have some students here who are on scholarship who are losing their scholarships. Why? Or people who could not get their scholarships. Why? Because the Saudi government doesn't have enough money to give them and decided that they should just go home and sit around and, they prevent our people from studying. But the Saudi oil war is hurting the United States. It's hurting the alternative energy. All these alternative energy companies who can make money, who can survive because the oil prices are high, now they cannot do it. So we are preventing humanity from producing an alternative to the fossil fuel option. The environment has been damaged by this. Imagine this huge problem that has been created by the Saudi monarchy bringing the oil prices down. Many people, many Americans, many Canadians lost their jobs in these companies, that oil companies that are able to produce and to hire people because the oil prices were high. What happened? Why isn't the United States speaking? Why are Mr. Obama, Mr. Liberal, Harvard graduated Obama speaking about it or doing something about it? Oh, because we're selling weapons, but we are losing more money because of this Saudi war. That's why I said, we must, I don't want to take much time, but the Saudi government and monarchy support to terrorism is clear to us as people, to most of us at least, or many of us. I wouldn't say most, I would say many of us. And without taking the Saudi monarchy out, you will continue to have terrorism. You will continue to have that threat. And unfortunately, maybe it's a decision by some clique in this country to keep the Americans down by keeping the threat of terrorism high so they can do whatever they want. And that's why, again, we need to take this country back. Do whatever you can to take your country back. Without removing the Saudi monarchy from power, terrorism will continue. The Saudi monarchy is to terrorism what the Soviet Union was to communism. Did you hear anything about communism after the collapse of the Soviet Union? No. There is no red threat anymore. This is exactly the same. And it's important to empower our people to rule themselves, to build a modern state. Our people want to rule themselves. That's why we have thousands of political prisoners. We have Dr. Al-Qahtani. That's why Sheikh Nimr was executed. Many people, Abdullah Al Ahmed, Abdul Karim Al-Khudar. I can stay here and speak the names of many people. I would not be done because we have a lot of people. And my friend Abdul Aziz Al-Hussan knows this very well because he worked in a lot of these cases. Okay? And finally, I want to conclude by saying that it's really important that you support us because you are freer. You're allowed to speak at least. We can't do that in our country. People lost their lives just speaking out or tweeting sometimes. So removing the Saudi monarchy is our goal. We need your support any way you can. There is the coalition to end the US-Saudi alliance and SaudiUS.org. Please go there, help us. Go to the Code Pink, the Gulf Institute, to any organization that's working on that. And we are working also on kicking the Saudis out of the Olympic Committee. We have the No Women, No Play campaign. Go to their website and buy a shirt, support. We need to liberate our people from the Saudi monarchy. We need to liberate our Islam from state control, Saudi Arabia or otherwise, because Islam belongs to the people, not to any government. And that is not only good for us, for our people, but good for every single one of you, to your children, to your grandchildren. And I say thank you very much again for having me. And I apologize for taking a little bit of time, but thank you so much. Thank you again. Ma'as-salam.
The struggle against the Saudi-US war against Yemen is finally getting some notice. Go to thestruggle.org or SaudiUS.org to see how you can take part. Until April 24th, Real Artways in Hartford is hosting an exhibit by Syrian architect artist Mohamad Hafez. Here he has turned a rubber life raft upside down and added objects to show the reality of Syrian refugees. Hafez's own brother-in-law crossed the Mediterranean in such a fragile craft. This piece is called His Royal Highness II. The tyrant's glittering palace is up top, protected by soldiers, and the people get by in the ruins below. Now about that body being held until taxes are paid.
I'll be speaking with Sue Booth, who does some amazing work with children in Romania. And I understand you've got some very bad news.
Yes, I got it Thursday night, and my director over there called to tell me that my favorite street boy had been found dead on the street. Radu, I met Radu 16 years ago, and I figured he was about 7 years old at the time. He was diving into a fountain in the middle of downtown Bucharest, and the police were trying to get him. We've kept in touch over the years, and the Archway gang, the people that work for me over there, have always made sure he had what he needed to get through the winter or the summer, or if he was in trouble, or they stuffed him in the hospital number 9, which is the mental health hospital, we could always get him out and keep track of him and make sure that he had what he needed. We've taken him to the dentist to have all his teeth pulled out. We've taken him to the doctor when he's been beaten to a bloody pulp by the neo-Nazis that are now over there in Romania. And he went to sleep one night, wherever he slept that particular night, and he just never woke up.
And then it's even worse afterwards.
So the government, yes, the government picked him up in a sweep and notified my director over there that they had Radu's body. So he went to pick the body up, and the government said they would not release the body because we had to pay $3,000 worth of taxes on a street boy who never got a benefit from the government, never was allowed to go to school, never was allowed to enter a church, never was allowed to enter a hospital if he needed help. But now they're charging us because they can.
I mean, what kind of a tax? Does everybody pay a tax when they die?
No, no. But if you have a street kid that you're attached to and that street kid dies, they'll go after you for money. And that's exactly what they're doing.
We've talked over the years about this. So when we're talking about orphans in Romania, there's a whole class of them who are just abandoned and put in the streets.
There's, the way we figured, it was about 800 when I first started. The way I figure it now, it's about 2,000, because my older kids that grew up in the streets and still live in the streets are now having babies in the streets. And it's a nightmare because as stateless people, they have no rights, and they're thrown away when they die, like my Radu. And Jika, my director, is getting his body, and we're going to bury him, and we're going to put him in nice clean clothes that he never had when he was still alive, and we're going to give him a place to rest. And we try to do that for all of the children, but it's particularly poignant with Radu because he's been with us since the inception of Archway. And we'll take it from there.
So Archway is an independent nonprofit?
Archway is a 501c3. We're registered with the Romanian government as well. We have our Coda Fiscală over there, and we operate. We are the only organization working in the streets with the children. We actually go to where they live, we feed them, we take them to the hospital, we clothe them, we do everything we can. But the big focus now is identity papers, because without IDs, they have no rights whatsoever, like my Radu. And we couldn't get him identity papers because we never knew what his last name was or what town he came from. I estimate he was about 23, but that's, that's debatable because we don't know, and he doesn't know when or where he was born and who his parents are.
Not to be morbid, but if this tax wasn't paid, they have the body, what are they going to do?
They'll cremate him, which is against Romanian Orthodox religion, and put him in a little cardboard box and put him on a shelf by the Victor Babish Hospital, which is an infectious disease hospital in Bucharest for children. They'll put him on that little shelf and then they clean it out and dump it somewhere. Yeah.
Oh.
It's a very sad ending to an extremely sad and tragic life, but that's the reality these kids live with every day, and that's what we're trying to change.
And what is your website, so if people want to know more about this?
The website is, we just got it up and running, www.archwayromania.org. And if you click on that, you can click onto our sister website, which is run by my staff over there, and that's www.archwayromania.com. And we're just launching a blog, and as soon as I learn how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a Facebook page, and you can see a picture of my beautiful Radu on there when he was helping us with the Christmas donations when we were going around in the street. He loved to do that with us. So,
thank you so much.
thank you, Stanley.
Perhaps you should write about this to the Romanian embassy. Here's their email. When you get an answer, let us know. That's our program for today. See you next week at this time. I'm Stanley Heller, and this is The Struggle.